Okay, so following the process, now that everything is checked, everything is clear, you signed, paid all your closing costs. So we said acquisition fee, recording fee, notary fees, taxes, and the lawyer fee to check the title report. And now you want to, let's say, resell that property, right? There's really good appreciation in the Riviera Maya, in Tulum, Playa del Carmen. I've seen lots of land that have appreciated 400% in 2 years, especially in Region 8 and Region 15, where they just opened Kukulkan Street, which is the second beach access of all Tulum. So capital gains, if they want to resell that lot of land, apartment, real estate, what's the tax on that?
Like Sebastian explained, now Mexico is growing. All the Caribbean now is in a very good way. We have a very good time, and Mexico is friendly. Just 1 or 2 years ago, this was frequently everything is go up about prices. If you invest here, believe me, will be a very good business for you. But we talk about taxes now. I mentioned this because it's important to understand how is to make the calculation. In English, is the capital gain, because if I buy a land at 100, just is an example, and in 2 years we have a capital gain. It's
Right.
because maybe that cost is no more 100, it's 500. We have a difference or profit. This is a profit because it's
In Mexico is considered.
because you pay 100 and you sell in 500, it's a profit for 400.
Right.
For that 400, the general rate is 30%.
30%.
30% for the profit. This is just an example. But I need to be clear about the cost is not just the land. Because if I invest something there, you can deduce. How? And this is another very, very important point. If you added something, you make some construction, whatever, you need to prove to the tax authority. And in Mexico, it's very strictly that. You need to prove that with invoices. We traveling a lot and saw and study another, tax systems. And maybe in that point, not so strictly. I can make the document with my credit card, some receipt, it's enough. In Mexico,
No.
don't work like that. Mexico is very strictly, and they say, okay, if you try to prove that you invest there, because I invest and I want to reduce my profit, because this is another reduction. Mm-hmm. I need an invoice. Invoice is specific. Document now is electronic.
Yeah.
And they need a lot of information.
Yeah.
About just an example is if I don't know, pay for chairs, they say, okay, it's 2 chairs, whatever, this is the price, this is the VAT, the information from my company.
Tax ID number.
Tax ID number, but this is just the invoice. But the payment needs to be through credit card, transfer,
Yeah.
check.
Wire transfer. Check.
No cash. No cash. Just cash is deductible. The expense with invoice paid by cash just is deductible if the amount in dollars is $100.
$100.
Just is
Okay.
for
Yeah.
a little
If the
expense.
invoice is $100 or less, you can pay cash.
It's
Okay.
just for
Any
maybe
other
for
is-
your dinner, it's okay. But if you talk about more,
Right.
when you talk about construction, whatever, equipment,
$100 is
needs to be
nothing.
through, repeat, check, transfer, credit card, debit card, no cash. Maybe it's hard, but it's like that. If you live in Mexico and have business in Mexico, you need to adopt it.
What my dad was saying is once you're gonna sell your real estate, you need to take in consideration how much you're getting from the sales, and you're gonna deduct the price from that. You're gonna do
Your
what
profit,
you paid.
right.
Your profit's gonna be what you're getting minus what you paid for that real estate. You have to deduct all of the costs that you actually invested in the property. And what my dad was saying is that in Mexico, it's really important that you have invoices for that. But it's not only to have an invoice just like that. The invoice needs to be what you're getting, how you're gonna pay, how much you're gonna pay, and where that money is coming from. And it's really important that we also mention that when you buy real estate and when you sell real estate, the money has to come from the company and from the name of the same person that's actually signing the deed.
Okay.
Because sometimes people are asking us, I want to buy my house and my company's name is Ordaz Gonzalez, for example, and my money is in another company's bank account. That's really important that we mention right now that for tax purposes and for law purposes here in Mexico, that money, anti-money laundering,
Okay.
that money needs to be from the bank account that's gonna buy. And also when you're selling, the person that's buying your real estate needs to pay in your company's or in the bank account from the trust or whatever. So that's pretty much to sum up. And the invoices here in Mexico are really strict. They have a lot of requirements, and you need to really pay attention that all of the requirements are met, or otherwise the invoice is not valid.
Correct.
And it's gonna affect a lot of the profit that you're gonna be getting from that.
Perfect. And capital gains percentages, how much again?
It's 30%.
30%?
30%.
30%
For income, yeah,
of the profit,
of the profit.
and you can
It's the
deduct
rate
it.
of the tax.
Right.
I want to be very clear. I sell in 100 or in 500. 500. I buy the land in 100. I invest 200. My cost is 300. The profit is 200.
200.
The tax rate is 30% of the profit in our
the 200.
examples for 200.
200. Okay. So out of that $200,000 profit, you would pay up to 30% of that.
Up to that.
Up to that.
And again, each case can be different because of the different type of deductions, the different type of company, the different type. Everything
Renovations, you
Yes.
purchase, I don't know, whatever.
And this is another important point. If I have a trust, Sebastian, and I want to resell, the calculate is the same, but I don't have company because I'm a trust.
Yes.
If you don't have a company, all the calculation will be to the notary. This is another function of the notary.
Okay.
The notary will be withhold that. They make the calculate, like we explained. They have the same system, and he make the calculate and take that money from you. He pay for you, and you receive the balance.
Okay.
In companies, the calculation is in the company. If you go to the notary and your land is in the company, we need a notary, yes, because he made all the legal papers that we explain, but the calculate of the taxes is into the company.
If you're a resident and you bought through a trust and you want to resell your property, is there any way? I remember because I just sold my first property and you helped me out and I didn't have to pay any capital gains on that property. How did we do that?
Of course, we can do everything here. Not everything, almost. No, what we can do, and I can offer for all your audience, we always work together with some notaries. And we play the games together. What we do, we advise the notary and we try to do our best combination for pay less.
Okay.
We can do that. It's a suggest for the notary, but with our expertise, he take our
tax advice,
and we always got the best result.
Right. Because I was able to exempt it because I think you can exempt the capital gains tax if you sell, what is it, every 4 years?
Home. 3.
Every 3 years. And it's a maximum amount, right?
It is around, if we talk about dollars, it's 250. We need to separate business and home. This exempted is for homes.
It was his residential home.
Right.
Not residential homes. When I live in there, it's an apartment, and you can prove that it was your home. You need to prove by, some statement for electrician system,
Utility.
or
Utility
credit
bill.
card. Yeah. You
There's
prove that you live there. You avoid the taxes for the first almost 6 million pesos.
Okay.
For the difference will be taxable, but the first 6 million around because it's floating because the
Around
rules is
$300,000.
300 is around. The first is not taxable because it's your home. If your property of your home is less than that amount, is totally free.
Okay.
If you're trespassing, you pay taxes for the balance. And this exception you can renew every 3 years
Okay.
because the tax says, okay, maybe you do it for another best home. You stay 3 years, it's okay. The exception will be set up again.
Okay.
If I have 2 homes and I try to prove that they have 2 homes, it's impossible. Yours is one, and renew that exemption every 3 years.
Every 3 years. Okay. So just to give you an idea of one of the options that they were able to provide on my specific case, and they've got so many different options for buyers and sellers alike. Let's say that they don't want to sell their property.